if you just stop working and spend a few moments to look around, how many things do you see that are made from metals? Your phone, your lamp, and the rubbish bins standing at the corners of the streets. There are many, right? But have you ever thought about where all these metals come from? Most of them are extracted in the ground as ore. Although metal extraction is profitable and has some positive impacts on the economy of the country, it also has negative effects on the environment. In order to reduce this impact, we must figure out a way. Therefore, I came up with a research question. How can scientists help reduce the impact of metal extraction caused by humans? Heavy metals, which are defined as elements having high atomic weight and density that is 5 times greater than water, are the major pollutants due to their toxic nature. For instance, one of the heavy metals, which known as mercury, is needed in the extraction of gold. Here is a picture showing the sources of heavy metals and their cycle in the environment. We can clearly see that these metals are end up in different environmental compartments, such as soil, water, and air. The presence of heavy metals in these places is a serious issue due to their huge impact on the food chain, thus destroying the ecosystem. For example, it may change the pH value of the soil, which causing the plants to die. Also, the animals that have eaten those plants may absorb the heavy metals and transform the toxic substances to other organisms, leading to the collapse of ecosystem. In order to deal with the negative impacts on the environment caused by metal extraction, scientists have come up with some solutions. One of them is to use water stripping in order to remove ammonia and hydrogen sulfide. As I mentioned before, the toxic substances produced by metal extraction may affect the pH value of the environment. For example, changing water from neutral to acidic. Therefore, water stripping has a huge advantage in reducing the toxic dissolved substances. By removing the 2 major contaminants that causes sour water, the solution can improve the reproduction and survival rate of aquatic organisms, also promote balanced and healthy fish populations. Nothing in the world is perfect, just as water stripping has its drawbacks. It requires lots of energy. There are tons of water that have to be filtered by the machines in a day, which means that humans must generate more energy either by burning fossil fuels or using other alternative energy resources. Therefore, some of these ways may cause environmental pollution. To reduce the impact of metal extraction on the environment, scientists have also thought of another solution, using a new class of organic molecules in order to capture the metal ions. There are many benefits of this approach. For instance, it can replace the toxic reagents used in the old mining method. Scientists have claimed that the newly developed molecules have the ability to eliminate the nasty process like water stripping, and help extract metals without using solvents to promote chemical reactions. Therefore, this new process can reduce the generation of toxic solvent waste. Also, it can minimize the hazards and risks of the mine workers. For example, the old mining method treats gold-containing ore with large quantities of poisonous sodium cyanide, which is dangerous for the workers. But by using this method, it can reduce the toxic substances that produced during the mining process, thus safer for people. However, this method also has its shortcomings, which is we can't mass produce them. This is because its technology is not yet mature enough to be universal around the world, which means that we still have to wait for the process to develop and be deployed economically on industrial scales. In addition, it has limitations on the types of metals. For example, this method can only apply on metals such as zinc, copper, etc. This small amount of extraction is not enough to satisfy the human needs. Therefore, it only has limited use in nowadays. In the end, I think that using the organic molecules is better than water stripping because this solution has not only reduced the toxic reagents, but also eliminate the use of water stripping. In other words, using organic molecules to capture metal ions is more eco-friendly because it doesn't require energy resources, thus saving the environment. Although, This new method still has its shortcomings, but nowadays the scientists have already developing a more mature technology that removes its initial faults and adding more features to it. I believe that in the future, the research will be a great advance in the extraction of metals by humans. So finally, I want to say that as long as people are willing to explore new technologies and develop them, it will be a great help to the environment that has already been destroyed by human beings.